My official prediction for the three big fights this week. Yeah, we got Fury versus Wach happening this Friday. And the next day we got AJ versus Pregna. Anthony Joshua versus Pregna. Then we got on Sunday Tim Tszyu versus Spence. That's the one to look out for. That's the one I'm going to be streaming live, watching it live with you guys. So make sure to tune in to that one. So first of all, let's start with Fury Wach. I already made a prediction video a couple weeks ago when this was first announced. I think Fury's just going to box him off, keep him at range, jab, show his superior speed, his youth, athleticism. It's a mismatch. AJ and Fury should be fighting each other, not Wach and Pregna as tune-ups and then call each other out and then more fanfare. Like, just hurry up and make it get done before the end of the year, please. Yeah, I think that was in my video for fights we need before 2027. We need this fight to happen. Just for completeness of the division, completeness for British heavyweight boxing. Just please, AJ and Fury need to fight. So I'm hoping that they both win. If they both get upsetted and the underdog wins and they both get shocked, it's a shock win, then it is what it is. That's their fault. But Fury should comfortably outbox Wach, maybe score a standing TKO in the later rounds, or maybe middle rounds. I don't think that's too much to say. If you watch Wach's latest fight, he hasn't had much of an impact. He's not really anything special anymore. His greatest achievement was fighting. Who was it? Did he fight Klitschko? I think he fought. Yeah, that's not really anything to scoff at. AJ versus Pregna. I mean, come on. Yeah, so Christian Pregna. He only has one loss, 20 wins. You know, he's a nifty little fighter, but you know, he's 35. He hasn't had much success in his career. You know, hasn't really made a start. Hasn't really fought in Albania. He's mostly been fighting in the United States or something. Now he's fighting Anthony Joshua in Riyadh. I don't think it's going to be much of a contest, this one. Some people are picking him to pull a Andy Ruiz and just get an upset KO while he's, getting slaughtered. I don't expect that. I think AJ's going to come out professional, like Ngannou. No missteps, no funny business, just some clean boxing, drop him a couple times, end the fight, make a statement. And the car injury that AJ went through, I don't think I'll have too much of an impact. I think he was discharged the next day. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to be hindering his ability. I don't think he was as injured as Spence was when he had his car accident. And yeah, I doubt that will affect him too much. It might affect his mentality. Obviously, it was a bit of a tragedy, but I don't think he will physically be in any worse shape for it. Call out. Actually, I don't think he'll call out Fury. I think Fury will call out AJ. AJ will be quiet about it. And then he'll talk about, we need to sign the negotiation first. We don't chat about that here, stuff like that. So that's what I think will happen. And then finally, what you're waiting for, Spence and Tszyu, big fight. So, I mean, this could have been a big fight, but with more information that we're hearing, like Spence's crew was late to Australia. That's going to be tough to acclimatize. It's a weird location. It's down south, land down under, etc., etc. But also this bout has been changed to a catchweight under Spence's request. So he's making trouble. He's having trouble making the weight, which is interesting. Very interesting, considering he was the smaller guy, 147 his entire career. Now he's moving up to 154, and he still can't make that. He requested 158. Very tricky for Spence. And I made a video, but I didn't upload it, and it was me reacting to the face-off between them, face-to-face. And I was saying how I don't think Spence is he doesn't seem particularly locked in at the moment. Tszyu, he's quiet, he was focused, he had the eye of the tiger, he was staring Spence down. Spence was being a bit too jokey, a bit too laughing for my liking. And yeah, he wasn't really giving Tszyu any respect. He was just saying, I only started paying attention when I realized he's going to be an opponent. Meanwhile, Tszyu was out here like, yeah, man, this is Spence, I'm going to take this seriously. I think Tszyu's going to come into this fight with a chip on his shoulder compared to Spence, who, he's had, 3 years off. he's had a comfortable 3 years. He's basically half retired. Is he coming in just for a paycheck, or is he coming in for a serious return? Who knows? Either way, I think Tszyu's going to have the advantage. I think Tszyu will have the power advantage. And from recent Spence clips that we've seen, he's looking a bit labored. He's looking a bit slow. He's looking like, I don't know, like age has come to him, or age has caught up to him, or maybe the 3 years has caught up to him. And the other inactivity, because he doesn't really take tune-ups. That's what he was saying. He doesn't take tune-ups, and this isn't a tune-up. He's not going to warm up to the light middleweight division. He's just going to start fighting in it. So he's fighting the former unified champion, Tim Tszyu. And yeah, I mean, he's looking slow on the pads. His shadowboxing looks weird. He does have a new trainer. Maybe that is to do with it. He left Derek James and is now with Ronnie Shields. But maybe Ronnie Shields is teaching him from down to basics, and that's why he's boxing so slow. I don't know. But yeah, it's not looking too good for Spence. I think he's still more technically gifted than Tim. He's a bit more defensively sound. He makes less mistakes than Tim. A little bit better footwork, but I think the power and the youth and the energy will come from Tim Tszyu. I think the big fish, the truth, Errol Spence he's gonna be asking questions when he gets hit sometimes. He's gonna be asking questions of, should I have stayed retired? And am I even physically fit for this? Is my body okay from the car accident and the eye surgery and the brutal beatdown that Terence Crawford gave him? We still have to factor that in. Sometimes fighters get a brutal beatdown and they look okay. Sometimes they get a brutal beatdown and they come out and they're never the same. Now, we don't know about that for Spence because he hasn't fought for 3 years, but it could be the latter. Now, all this is making me go towards Tim Tszyu. Now, the problem with Tim is he is a bit, goofy at times. He has an awkward style. He isn't technically sound in a way, but he gets the job done. He has good power, good hooks. He's a tough guy. He's a really tough guy. He got dropped, I believe, four times against Murtazaliev, before getting knocked down and before getting TKO'd. And he still wanted to keep going that fight, I'm sure. He had the awful cut against Sebastian Fundora. Still fought a whole 10 rounds with that cut. And it was tough, that fight. So second fight against Fundora, he got dropped by my boy Fundora, and he was getting outboxed. He retired on the stool, but still, it was a valiant effort. So I think he'll have the heart to continue. I think he does get knocked down quite often, though. That is true. But Spence's power hasn't really been on showcase. He obviously TKO'd Ugas, but that was via eye injury after 6 rounds of Ugas not throwing a single punch, only looking to counter but being unable to counter. He obviously dropped Sean Porter. He's TKO'd Kell Brook, stuff like that, but he doesn't really have wow power like someone like Terence Crawford had, which is what made the difference in that fight. Terence Crawford just walked down, threw his shots, ignored most of them, didn't really give him respect in that sense, in the power sense, and just brutally beat on him. And I think that can happen with Tim Tszyu. If Tim Tszyu just gets one good moment, I think he can snowball it into a TKO victory for Tim Tszyu in the middle rounds, maybe round 4, 5, or 6. Yeah, that's my prediction. I think Tim Tszyu. I was originally thinking Spence because I wanted the Spence versus Fundora matchup, as you guys know. But with this fight week going on, with the face-to-face, with the change in weight, with the Spence's team having issues, just overall the Spence camp, I don't think they have it in them to win. So yeah, I think Tim Tszyu will be the winner. That's my prediction. Wouldn't be surprised if Spence won, though, and I'd be kind of happy because then we can get the Fundora-Spence matchup, which is a bigger fight than Tim Tszyu versus Fundora 3. I don't know. I think that's a pretty fair thing to say. But I'm just thinking about what's good for Fundora here because I'm a big fan of him. But yeah, I'm gonna be live streaming this fight, giving my live commentary, play by play. Obviously not streaming the fight, but I'll be streaming during the fight, so you guys can tune in and see what I have to say. And yeah. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think about these 3 fights. I think the heavyweight fights are pretty self-explanatory. But the Errol Spence fight and Tszyu fight, yeah, that'll be very interesting. I'm really excited for it. And it's good to see Spence back in the ring, you know. He's a legend of the game. He's a legend of the current generation, so it's good to see him. And Tim Tszyu, he's always entertaining. I'm always a fan of him, ever since he beat Tony Harrison. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Take